What is up, YouTube? I'm your host, ProfessorStix, back at it again with another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today, we're going to be comparing the BULLFROG and the BIZON. We'll be looking at the stats, and I'll be sharing with you guys the best attachments. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I make Warzone tips and tricks videos, and I compare the best weapons in Warzone. Let's get right into it. When we're looking at the weapon stats, the BULLFROG has an ADS speed of 200 milliseconds and a movement speed of 4.92 meters per second. The BIZON has an ADS speed of 225 milliseconds and a movement speed of 4.8 meters per second. The BULLFROG has a reload speed of 2.34 seconds and a rate of fire of 551 rounds per minute. The BIZON has a reload speed of 2.11 seconds and a rate of fire of 654 minutes. Let's jump right into the damage profile. Now, the BULLFROG does 46 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 6 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the BIZON does 55 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 5 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The BULLFROG does 31 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 9 shots to down a fully armored opponent, and the BIZON does 34 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 8 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now, keep in mind that the BULLFROG has a damage fall off at 13 meters, and the BIZON has a damage fall off at 14 meters, which extends to 22 meters, and then there is another drop off. Now, if we're looking at the optimum time to kill, if you hit all of your chest shots, you are going to down a fully armored opponent in 639 milliseconds with the BULLFROG. With the BIZON, if you hit all of your chest shots, you are going to down a fully armored opponent in 642 milliseconds. Now, you do need to hit at least 1 or 2 headshots to bring your time to kill down. With the BULLFROG, it's going to be 559 milliseconds, and with the BIZON, it's going to be 550 seconds. But here is where things are a little bit different. At range, which means at the second damage profile, for the BULLFROG, you're going to do 37 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 7 shots to down a fully armored opponent. And for the BIZON, it's going to be 40 damage to the head, which means it's going to take 7 shots to down a fully armored opponent. The BULLFROG is going to do 25 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 10 shots to down a fully armored opponent. And the BIZON is going to do 26 damage to the chest, which means it's going to take 10 shots to down a fully armored opponent. Now, remember that the second damage profile for the BULLFROG is anything after 13 meters, and the second damage profile for the BIZON is anything between 14 meters and 22 meters. Now, the optimum time to kill at range for the BULLFROG is 719 milliseconds. If you hit 1 or 2 headshots, it doesn't matter. It's 719 milliseconds if you're hitting all of your chest shots. For the BIZON, however, it is 826 milliseconds if you're hitting all of your chest shots. And in order to bring it down to a comparable 734 milliseconds, you have to hit 2 headshots. So in my opinion, I think the BULLFROG is going to be the safer bet, especially with the BIZON having that really horrible TTK at range. All right, guys, here are the best attachments. All right, so very quickly for the attachments, you're going to want to go with the GRU suppressor. This is going to increase your bullet velocity and your effective damage range. It's also going to keep you off the enemy minimap. You're going to want to go with the Task Force barrel. Increased bullet velocity, increased damage range, and also increases your strafe speed. You're going to want to go with the Bruiser grip. This is going to increase your hip fire accuracy and also give you some movement speed. You don't need any extra ammunition. However, if you wanted to go with extra ammunition, take off the Bruiser grip and go with any ammunition of your choice. You want to go ahead and put on the KGB target designator. This is going to increase your damage range and also further increase your hip fire accuracy. And then lastly, you want to go with the KGB skeletal stock, which is going to increase your ADS firing move speed. It's going to make you strafe faster, a little bit more movement speed. Also, it's going to increase your sprint to fire time. All right, for the BIZON, you're going to want to go with the monolithic suppressor, the polygonal barrel, the 5 milliwatt laser, the sleight of hand perk, and no stock. If you feel like you need more ammunition, then take off sleight of hand and go with the 84 round mag. All right, guys, that's it for me. As always, make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you can find your way back for more Call of Duty content. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.